Hey, tomorrow's superstars are right down the road right here, and you and I know nothing about them. That's why Daniel Jeremiah's coming. When you were in the combine, did you hate it? Did you hate everything about it? What was it like for you?
I was definitely curious and kind of intrigued going into it as to what it was going to be. And I got there, and I definitely appreciated being around all the other guys. I had a roommate. You stay with people. You got to get tight with different people. But then it was cool talking to coaches, seeing them. Everything else, stupid. Just tons and tons of wasted time. You could have done it all. We had 3.5 days. You could have done it all in 120 minutes, probably. Other than that, great time.
Okay, so other than the complete waste of time, great time when the waste.
I don't need to. You don't have to test me on some leg extension machine to test my quad and knee strength, and then wait 9.5 hours and then go finally do drills later that night.
So you're having to do 3-a-days at this damn thing because everybody wants to.
I didn't care. I just hate wasted time, and there was a lot of it.
Yeah, it's a hurry up and wait too situation, right? Because you got to wake up and get piss tested at 6 a.m. too. They have the most obscure times for guys to wake up and do their piss test for street drugs and for PED drugs and everything like that. Then they got to wait 3 hours. Then you got meetings. Then you got to work out. Oh, then by the way, you're 40. Then everybody's going to know for the rest of your life is happening at the end of that. I mean, it is very fascinating. That's why you hear a lot of these players and coaches alike are like, this is not the most appeasing thing for football, we don't think, right? Is that not kind of the avenue?
No, I mean, I understand why it's there. It should happen. And I think for the most part, good coaches, good GMs and owners, they understand what it is. Hey, we want you to reaffirm what we have seen on film. If they've seen someone they like on film, they want you to show, yeah, you are that guy. You don't come out here and look terrible in person. Sometimes it's scary when guys haven't made a lot of plays in their college career, and then they come out and they light it up at the combine, and some people take a shot at them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, how about the Raiders that for a long time, if you were the fastest at the combine, didn't matter what your film looked like. I mean, you obviously had to be able to do your position. You had to know what your position entailed, okay? And if you were running a 40, you were obviously in a football sphere that people thought you were good enough. But if you ran the fastest 40, you were going to be a Raider. Yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to the Raiders, which, hey, Shane Leckler bomb balls.
Sure.
All right, I fucking loved him. But he was the perfect situation for him, too, as a bomber. He was able to hit balls 80 yards. Not a lot of people are able to do that. I don't think I would have been able to do it as much as Shane Leckler did it. He is unbelievable. But he was able to hit it. They had 4-1, 4-2, 4-3 going, who couldn't play their own positions. They could not play their own positions, but they could run. Shane Leckler would hit these home run balls, which, by the way, more consistent than anybody else hitting those big balls, hit bigger balls than everybody else. But it was also perfect because the way they brought in players was they were fast. That was a fast track over there with the Raiders. I mean, that team was very fast. With the analytics coming in, I'm wondering if Shane Leckler, by the way, is the greatest of all time in my mind. So, I don't want that to be anything. I'm just saying it was a match made in punting heaven almost.
There you go.
But with all these analytics coming out and all these super scouty people becoming more prominent in football, I wonder if all this shit will matter more to some teams than it ever has in the past, AJ.
It might when they go back and they try to review all their past draft picks and the numbers from those draft picks, and then they try to put it into equation, algorithms, how this guy worked out, how many years did he last in the league, all that stuff. Yeah, you could sit there and overanalyze things, and I'm sure it's worth putting together and then saying maybe that's one little piece of the puzzle when you're thinking about drafting somebody.
The smartest people on earth understand that we're all individuals. We're all unique. We're like snowflakes, right? Snowflakes are no the same, but smartest.
Do we know that?
Yeah, we studied.
I don't know that about snowflakes, honestly. It seems to be a crock of shit to me. That one.
It makes sense, but no one studied every snowflake.
Yeah, ever. And you see Whoville in there. Maybe that's an anomaly of a snowflake.
True.
Because how big that had to be for the Grinch to be able to do all the shit he was doing in there. But it sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. But with that being said, we're all different. You have no idea. Stats, every situation. Hey, situations are situational. That is so real, especially when it involves humans. So that's why I think stats can definitely help you make decisions, and they should. Hey, this is what people in the past have done that. But if it's not 100-0, and if it's not you have no idea what's going to happen, because who says that AJ Hawk isn't going to be a bust? Who says that he's not? AJ, I assume that if it wasn't for your incredibly hard work ethic, your incredibly hard head, the situation you were in, your film study, everything like that, you didn't make it. But a lot of guys just kind of flutter out. Every situation, you can't just what worked in the past isn't necessarily.
There's a lot of luck involved. The injuries obviously play a huge role. Guys get drafted and it may not be the right scheme, and then all of a sudden they get going, and then bam, they get hurt, and they can never get back on track like that. Yeah, a lot of it depends on where you go, how it works. That's why there's no like exact way to go about it. So that's why I think the NFL is so fun, because we really don't know.
That's why I don't envy decision makers